I had this job one time. It was interesting, and it was my one of my best friend's older sister. She and I, for some reason, we connected, and even though my best friend was my best friend, I loved hanging out with her older sister. And mind you, she was many years older than us, but for some reason we connected, we clicked. But she was a hoot and holler, and I mean, she was like Amazon woman, still is. Like I'm like 5'6", and she was like 6'1", 6'2", super tall, super beautiful, crazy as can be, wore all these outlandish outfits, smoked, real prissy like, and she was just crazy, and I loved her so much. And well, anyway, she got me a job one year. I was in high school, and I think at that point I decided I was done with, food service. I was done with Pantera's corn dog on a stick and any other food job I had. And so I wanted a job where I could, dress nice and get away from food. So she worked for the law offices of Panos, Ramsey, and Reardon. I'll never forget it. And they were a fun little group, these three little guys. And one was an old man, and one was a young guy, maybe in his 40s, and the other guy, I forget how old he was. But they were an eclectic crowd. And I wish I would have remembered, or at that time, it's sketchy, some of the things. But anyway, so my friend got me this job, and she worked there too. So she was like their assistant, and she would do all their, paperwork and, get all their stuff ready for the dockets and get all the folders ready and all the copying of the papers. And I don't know why they hired me. I answered the phones, and I think I helped her with her job. So basically, they were probably just being nice. But she, I was so young and so conservative, and I was just like, wanted to do everything by the book and, be a good employee and everything. And she just, to me, broke all the rules, and that amazed me. I was in awe of someone who would, break the rules. And I'll never forget, this is when we had typewriters, okay? Yes, age, again, I know. I'll never forget, she would have her cigarette in her mouth. Let me see if I can do it. She'd have her cigarette like this. Or she would type her away. Type. And I'd be answering the phone and watching her. And this ash, just kept growing out of this cigarette. And I'll never forget, I used to go over to her and like cup my hands under her cigarette. And I'd be like, you're going to burn down the place, and it's going to get in the typewriter, and don't you care? And she'd be like, oh, hell, I'm just trying to get it done, And I was just like, you're crazy, And she used to wear these skimpy little skirts, and now I look back and I know what was going on, but I didn't, I just thought she was cool. Well, the guys loved having the two of us in their office. Here she is with these little mini skirts, and she'd bend over at the file cabinet, and, and they're getting a little look-see, and I think they thought we were both just a couple of characters and in their little game, and we were humorous to them. We were their entertainment, I guess, if you will. But that was a fun job, and I'll never forget, it was above this Barbizon modeling school that I went to when I was in grade school and high school, and so it was pretty wild because I would go down and see the girls modeling and stuff. Yeah. And then my girlfriend, she was so cute, she tricked me. I was so naive. I mean, she says to me one time, somebody's got a birthday coming up. And I was like, yeah, it's my birthday, da, da, da. And she goes, what if you would want a cake? Like, what kind of cake would you like? What would your mom make you? And I go, oh man, I don't know. And I said, probably one of those cakes, with the strawberries and the whipped cream icing and the strawberries and then the jello, the jello. And I just went into this elaborate detail about this cake that I would love for my mom to make me for my birthday. Not thinking anything. Sure enough, the very next day, she came in with that cake. And that said so much to me about what a sweet person she was. She asked me because she wanted to go home and make it. And I thought that was so sweet. So yeah, I worked for a law firm.